Hello everyone, welcome to Kerala PSC HSA English classes. This is class 27. Today I'm going to discuss about Oscar Wilde's play, The Importance of Being Earnest. It is one of the most popular of Oscar Wilde's comedies. Its title ridicules the Victorian earnestness, the importance of being earnest. It is a more farce than a comedy of manners. The play exposes the hypocrisies and mannerisms of upper class society. And it is based on Wilde's dictum, art for art's sake. We can also categorize this play as an artificial comedy. It has three acts, but there are no further scene divisions. It is based on trivial subjects, improbable actions, and incredible coincidences. The subtitle is A Trivial Comedy for Serious People. Oscar Wilde wrote the play in 1895 and it was performed at St. James Theatre on 14 February 1895. The scene is laid in London or near London, and the characters are drawn from London society, as in the major comedy of manners. So, the characters in this play are Jack Worthing, alias Ernest Worthing, Algernon, Algie, Wendolen, daughter of Lady Bracknell. Lady Bracknell is a typical Victorian aristocratic lady. Cecily Cardew. Cecily Cardew is Jack Worthing's ward. Lane, male servant of Algernon. Dr. Chasuble, he's a clergyman. Miss Prism, governess of Cecily Cardew. So let's see what happens in Act 1. The play opens in Algernon Moncrieff's flat in Half Moon Street, London. He is expecting Lady Bracknell, his aunt, to his home. Soon he is joined by Jack Worthing. Jack Worthing, that means Ernest Worthing, arrives there and he is delighted to hear that Wendolen Fairfax is coming with Lady Bracknell because he is one of her suitors. In fact, Jack has come to London just to propose her. But Algernon does not think that his aunt would approve their match. Then Algernon shows a cigarette case which Jack had left in the flat on a previous visit, and it contained the inscription, "From little Cicely, with her fondest love to her dear uncle Jack." So Algernon questions Jack about it, and Jack tries in vain to bluff his way through. Finally, he is forced to confess that his name is Jack, not Ernest. So he is known by the name Ernest to Algernon. And when he gets that cigarette case with the name of Jack, he is having a doubt about Ernest Worthing, alias Jack Worthing's identity. And now he confesses that his real name is Jack and not Ernest. And Cecily Cardew, a girl of 18 years, is his ward that lives in the country. So, as her legal guardian, Jack has to behave in a grave and highly respectable manner in the country. So, in order to get an occasional rest from his, high moral tone, Jack has invented a younger brother, Ernest, who lives in London. And in London, he has adopted the name of Ernest Worthing. Now, Algernon has some sort of interest in Cicely when he learns that she is a pretty girl of 18, and he tries to get Jack's country address, but Jack is too clever, because Cicely is a very young girl, naive girl, and recently she has shown some romantic interest in Ernest, who does not even exist. So the Uncle Jack has to be very, very careful. Now, Algie calls Jack a Bunburyist. Just as Jack has invented a younger brother, Ernest, Algie also has invented an invalid friend, Bunbury. So he is supposed to be a sick person living in the country whose frequent attacks of illness require Algie's presence there. So, thus, he goes to the country and enjoys himself. So, Jack has a plan that if he succeeds in getting engaged to Wendolen, he will kill his younger brother, Ernest, who is suffering from a disease. Soon, Lady Bracknell and Wendolen arrive there, and Lady Bracknell is rather cold to Jack, but Wendolen sits down in a corner with him. And Algie tells Lady Bracknell that he will not be able to dine with her because Bunbury's situation has got worse. So he gets out of the way so that he gets her out of the way so that Jack can propose to Wendolen. He does so, and he is readily accepted because of the reason that she is fond of his name, Ernest. And this puts Jack in a fix because the real name is Jack, not Ernest. On hearing about the engagement, Lady Bracknell questions Jack, and she is satisfied about his age, income, occupation. But when she learns that he is a foundling, her attitude changes. Mr. Thomas Cardew had found him as an infant in a large black handbag in a clock room at Victoria Station and named him Worthing because Cardew had a first class ticket to Worthing in his pocket. So Lady Bracknell tells Jack that he must produce his proper relatives. Then only he will be able to marry Wendolen. Then Lady Bracknell leaves, and Wendolen joins him. She takes down his country address so that she can communicate with him. And this time, Algie overhears their talk and notes down the address. And now he knows where the pretty Cicely lives. There ends Act 1. Then, in Act 2, the scene shifts to Manor House at Woolton, where we can see Cicely Cardew in the garden with her governess, Miss Prism. Cicely likes to talk about Jack's younger brother, Ernest. She is also fond of the name Ernest. Then arrives a local clergyman, Chasuble, an elderly, scholarly person whom Miss Prism considers to be a romantic one. Cicely arranges for Miss Prism to take a walk with him. And when she is alone, Mr. Ernest Worthing comes there. Cicely is happy to see Ernest. It is actually Algernon who pretends to be Ernest, and they are attracted to each other. At the same time, Jack also arrives there dressed in black to tell that his brother Ernest has died of a severe chill in Paris. But Cicely informs that Ernest is already here, is present in the house, and brings him to Algernon. And Jack orders Algie to leave immediately and go away from this house. And he has arranged with Dr. Chasuble to Christian him Ernest for the sake of Gwendolen. And the ceremony is about to take place in the afternoon. Then Algie proposes Cicely, and then she tells him back that they have been engaged for the past 3 months. Then she shows him his letters to her, which she has had to write herself. So she had fallen in the love with his name, and she decided she could only love a man named Ernest. And this disturbs Algie, who hurries off to see Dr. Chasuble to arrange to christen him Ernest. Gwendolen comes there in searching for Ernest. Cicely tells her that she is a ward of Jack and is engaged to Ernest. And Gwendolen tells that she is engaged to Ernest, and there breaks out a quarrel between these two ladies. Then Jack enters. Gwendolen lovingly greets him as Ernest, and Cicely then corrects her that it is her uncle Jack. Next, Algie also comes there. Now, Cicely calls him Ernest and is corrected by Gwendolen that he is Algernon. Now, the two women feel that they have been cheated, and they both go into the house, leaving the men. Jack is deeply agitated, but Algie is enjoying his bunburying. And the Act 2 comes to a close. Module 7, Basic Grammar Articles. Today we will discuss on the use of the definite article the with proper nouns. Use the with the names of geographical areas, rivers, mountain ranges, groups of islands, canals, and oceans. For example, they are traveling in the Arctic. I will go on a cruise down the Nile. Use the with countries that have plural names. I have never been to the Netherlands. Do you know anyone who lives in the Philippines? Use the with countries that include the words republic, kingdom, or states in their names. She is visiting the United States. James is from the Republic of Ireland. Use the with newspaper names. I read it in The Hindu. She works for the Indian Express. Use the with the names of famous buildings, works of art, museums, or monuments. I would like to visit the Eiffel Tower. I saw King Lear at the Globe. Use the with the names of hotels and restaurants unless these are named after a person. They are laying at the Hilton on 6th Street. We ate at the Le Méridien. Use the with the names of families but not with the names of the individuals. We are having dinner with the Sharmas tonight. The Menons are going to the play with us. In the next class, we will discuss on the cases when we should not use the. Thank you.